Hello, good evening, everyone. Am I audible to all of you? I think a lot of some highs and thumbs ups are coming in the window. Am I audible to all of you? Just confirm once in the chat. Yes. Thank you very much for confirming. Oh, good evening, guys. Good to see that. I'm seeing Komal, Gokul, Komal Patil is there. Rakesh is here. Sonu, Abhishek, Gore, Gokul, Nagamuttu, all are there. Great. So maybe it's 5 p.m. We'll wait for a few minutes and then we'll get started. Good evening, says Gaurav. Madhusri is also saying good evening. Raju is here. Damarla is good evening, sir. Okay, good evening, guys. Just wait for a few minutes. It's right, 5 p.m. now. Maybe we'll have some more time for students to join in, right? And shall we get recording session for 4 days? Yes, Gokul, you will get it. Okay. It's already getting recorded. No issues, we'll get it. All right, I think it's time now. Let us get started. Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to the Disha workshops. I think in the monthly meeting, when we initiated in the month of January, I think around 2.5, 3 weeks back, there are a lot of inquiries from the students asking that, sir, why the Disha workshop were not conducted. It's been a while. I think we conducted somewhere around October, if I'm not wrong. Then it's been a couple of months gap, and they wanted the Disha workshop to be conducted, etc. So we went back to the team and we're discussing. And actually, our original idea, especially for the offline students, is to ensure that we make it batch specific. Right, every batch will have this session. That's our original goal, where we are actually gearing up to deliver that. But in the meantime, we thought, no, let us not leave too many gaps. Let me only take up this intermediary session because we have a team now who is gearing up to deliver that. Probably I'll talk about it in the subsequent days and weeks to you guys, introduce the team and stuff like that. But in the meantime, our mentors and our team also felt, our student success team and students felt that we don't need to wait, so we can get started with something, right? Because online is also a powerful platform where even though there are offline students who may not be able to join, which is also, again, our team is trying to change today. They're going to the offline classes, canceling their labs, making them attend this session from their desktop or from their classes itself. Let us see how many will be able to join today. So what we are going to do today and maybe in another next 3 days, we'll see how it goes. Basically talk about the interview preparation point of view, right? When it's the interview preparation point of view, we start with understanding the placement companies. That's going to be the focus for today. I would say it's a placement company orientation, right? And then subsequently we'll talk about resume preparation, and we'll walk through the Emertxe templates, and followed by the how to face interviews and things like that, right? So that's going to be the focus. And as always, people who participated in the monthly meeting, I would like to keep it as interactive as possible. Time to time, I'll be throwing some poll questions. You can answer that. And whenever you guys have any questions, you don't need to wait. We'll keep it as interactive as possible. Keep on typing your questions in the chat window. I'll answer all those questions, right? So that's going to be the agenda. So what is my goal by the end of the sessions? A, you have better awareness. What type of companies are coming? What type of companies I should be applying to, and things like that. Okay. B, prepare a good quality resume for yourself, irrespective of whether you are the initial part of the batch, middle of the placements, or you completed the course and still looking for placements. Doesn't matter. All of you prepare a good quality of resume and start applying. Third one, when you get shortlisted and attend the interviews, some of the tips and tricks and some of the do's and don'ts, which I'm going to explain in these sessions, you're able to apply. And then, increase basically your probability of getting selected with the placement company. So three phase agenda with which we are starting the session today. With that note, shall I go on and start the session? Yes, no? I need some energy in the room. Shall we start today's session? Formally telling yes. Okay, I'm seeing some, what do you call, 2 fingers coming here. Okay, a lot of thumbs up coming here. Thank you guys. Sonu, Bhargavi, MS, Vaishnavi, Kshitij, Harsh, Madhusri. Wow, a lot of responses. Gokul is still eagerly waiting for the session. Oh, a lot of thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. So let me share my screen and get started. So is my screen visible? Can you just confirm once? Are you able to see my presentation? Okay, cool. It's very simple, right? Fantastic. Let's get started. Okay. Please keep typing. I'll pause by and take questions. I'll also run some polls in between. Okay. So what is today's agenda is going to be? It is basically to give you an orientation about the placement companies, right? Before we get to the resumes interviews, which will start from tomorrow or so, mainly to getting yourself to the mindset of applying for companies, right? Getting yourself ready for the process. So that's going to be the agenda. So which are hiring or placements, our processing policies, and then FAQs, right? So this is going to be the agenda, okay? And then do's and don'ts, right? So right. So this is basically a student life cycle. Basically, when they take admission in Emertxe and then onboard themselves into online or offline course, right? They complete the core modules. When I say core modules, basically the programming modules, which consist of Linux system, C programming, C++ programming, data structure programming. When you complete this, basically you differentiate yourself from a typical fresher, somebody just graduated out, right? Compared to the skill levels, you are one level up. So that's where basically our mentors will come. They run this placement eligibility process, right? They run through its written test. You need to clear them batch wise. And also, we are conducting mock interviews, to ensure that you are prepared well and you are kind of getting an idea of where you stand, right? So basically, you need to clear the mock interviews as well. And then subsequently, you start applying for the placement companies and then selection process with the companies and then offer and joining. It's a fairly simple and straightforward life cycle, right? So I'm assuming that you are here, the red colored dot or put. Doesn't matter if you're here before or after, doesn't matter, because this information that we are going to share is common for everybody. Even if you're not applying today, you're going to apply 1 month down the line, or you started applying 1 month before itself, doesn't matter. So this session will be equally useful to both of you. Okay, so that's the whole idea. So first of all, let us understand these placement companies, right? Let us understand these placement companies, right? First and foremost thing, right? What are the type of companies are there? If you look at the categorization of the companies, you can bucketize into 3 or 4 levels. So let us take one by one. Okay. So what are the first category of companies? So these companies, we guys name as an MNCs. So when I say MNCs, right, it says multinational companies. And we also have an India-based companies. For example, MNCs in the sense, like we have NXP Semiconductors, an example we are given there. And then, for example, companies means I'm giving a Mahindra. For example, it could be a Tech Mahindra or Mahindra Electric and things like that, right? So my first question to all of you is today, what is the fundamental difference between an MNC and an India-based company? Want to give the answer? Let me see the chat. Who is going to answer this, right? So what is the difference between an MNC, multinational company, and an Indian company, fundamentally? Who want to go for that? Okay. MNC means global, okay. Means global means they have offices worldwide, okay. If you see these Indian companies, let us say, for example, Tech Mahindra, for example, right, or even Infosys, for example, they also have global offices, right? That way you can say Infosys is also a multinational company, right? If I'm not wrong. Wipro is a multinational company, right? HCL is a multinational company. Right? What exactly is the fundamental difference, right? Vaishnavi is telling work time. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that. There is a lot of controversy going around the work timings, and there is a news going around, right? But I don't know what you mean. I don't know. There could be some perspectives, basically, based on maybe these companies work on schedule or some shift and things like that. Okay, across the globe, MNC present in multiple countries is Sagar. MNCs operate throughout different countries, while Indian companies majorly operate in India. Not necessarily, that's what I'm saying, right? Even these Indian companies, they have multiple branches, right? Multiple companies. For example, Infosys has got a Germany branch. A couple of my close relatives work from their Germany office, right? Okay, then how do you differentiate them? Okay. MNCs operate across globe. Indian means local, okay. I think this is the right answer. Debanjan Das. MNC may have headquarters outside India. I think that's the right answer. For example, if you look at when you say multinational companies, any company you have, right, they have one headquarters and they got branch offices, right? So when you say MNC, so typically they have headquarters outside India, right? and they have a branch office or a software development office in India, or what say R&D center, whatever, right? When you say India-based companies, their headquarters are already based out of India only. For example, if you take Infosys, right, their headquarters is based out of Bangalore, right? I think HCL is based out of NCR region, Gurgaon or Noida, right? That's where their headquarters is, right? But they also have branches outside India. Okay, so that is one difference, as you can say. Number of employees. Okay, number of employees, if you look at it, there's another way to look at it. Is these companies, if you look at India-based companies, you can also say they are services-based companies. So when you say services-based companies, they have a larger amount of manpower because they work on a contract base, they work on a project base, right? For example, when you take a MNCs, they may say they may work on a product. Just a minute, some noise is happening. Let me just yeah. So that's one of the way to look at it, right? So if you look at these companies, maybe they have a larger number of employees. That's another way to look at it, right? Okay. MNC produces goods or products, right? Shivani asking, when will placement start? Shivani, don't ask me these head or tail questions, right? Which batch you are from, what batch, what modules you completed. Ask me. I told you exactly the same thing. Sometimes we get a one-liner request in our student success team, right? I want a batch change. From which batch to which batch? The 3,000 students are there. Please be specific, right? Okay, all right. So a lot of definitions coming here. Yeah, I'm seeing, a lot of, answers here, Google, Apple, etc. So different people can give different definition. As I said, simple way to look at it is, where is their headquarters located? Right? That's one way to easily understand so you don't forget. If you look at, for example, these India-based companies, when I say they have headquarters in India, right? For example, NSP Semiconductors, their headquarters is based out of Europe, right? Things like that. Then you have a lot of these mid-sized companies. Mid-sized companies means they have a few hundreds of employees, right? Or maximum 1,000 employees, I would say. Company like Avin Systems, right? Many similar companies like that. And then we also have startups. So startups can be very small ones, maybe few, maybe 4 or 5 people are working on it, or they're working at a certain college incubation facilities, right? Or they are just got funded, right? Or they are in a maybe 20, 30 people company, right? So startups can vary. So these are the type of companies which hire from our Emertxe, right? In fact, if you want to categorize MNCs and different India companies, different buckets, right? That way you can say 4 categories of companies are recruiting, right? Again, if you look at India-based companies specifically, right, they also might have multiple legal entities hiring in India. For example, if you look at these India-based companies, let us say Tata, right? Tata has got multiple different organizations hiring from. For example, Tata Advanced Systems, right? Tata LXC, right? And then Tata Power, earlier they used to come, right? So like that, we have different entities of the same Tatas are recruiting from our institution, right? Same thing goes with Mahindra. We also have Tech Mahindra. We also have Mahindra Electric coming and recruiting our students, right? So this is broadly a type of companies which are hiring for our students. Please, to understand this, okay? And if you look at the number of companies which are coming, right? If you look at, say, let me ask you this question, right? Rather, I would float a poll here. Let me see how much you can get it right. So let me see. Let me add a poll here. What is the distribution of MNC India-based versus small and medium versus startups? Suppose you say 100 companies coming to Emertxe. So how is the distribution will look like? Something like, for example, I'm giving some options, right? 20, 70, 10. Okay. Then you can write something like 40, 40, 40, 20. And you can say, 20, 20, 60. Say 70, 20, 10. Okay. So I just added a poll now. Let us see how do you get it? How do you get an answer now? Suppose 100 companies you take in Emertxe. Doesn't matter when they are coming, right? If you wanted to bucketize them, how many of them would be in the MNC and Indian companies together, small and medium companies put together, startups? How many will be distribution, right? So 20, 70, 10, 40, 40, 20, 20, 20, 60. Wow. 20, 20, 60. Okay. 20 mid-size and 60 startups. Okay. 70, 20, 10. 102 people have voted saying that 20 people in India are, then the small and medium is at 20 and 60 are startups. Oh. Okay. So I just want to understand your view on this. Let me wait for a minute. How many votes are coming in? 300 plus students have voted. So let us stabilize now. Let me publish the result. But what is the right answer? Okay, based on my experience in university placements, the answer number 1. Okay, the 1 is the right answer. Close to that. Again, it varies from month on month, but largely if you look at it, 20% will be your MNCs and big companies, right? 70% will be mid-sized companies, and then 10% will be the startups. Okay. Please get your understanding. Look at this. No, many of you voted 20, 20, 60 and all. No, not like that. You think it's a startup. Startup means when I say, let us put like this. Let us put some our own definition. Again, it varies from people to people. Let us say anybody less than 100, let's say startup. Anybody having more than 100, if you say mid-sized company, if you go by that, right? Okay. Then also, if you say it will be 20, 70, and 10. Okay, just to get an idea, right? Just to get an idea. So that is how the distribution are. So can you tell me one more question related to this, right? Let us, but for sure it is the small and medium business or small and medium companies are the one which is a maximum pie. That is for sure. Right? Can you tell me why they are the biggest one? Any idea? There should be some logic, right? Why the small and medium businesses are the biggest contributors to our number of placement companies. I'm not talking about number of openings and all. Don't worry. Suppose you take 100 company in university, you put in 3 different buckets. How would it look like? We're talking about that, right? Why is always that mid-sized companies or small and medium-sized companies are more in Emertxe? Any idea? Any reason? There should be some logic, right? Any idea? Let's see who gets it right. It's not a straightforward answer. You have to think a bit. No answers. So I'll say why. Yeah, I'm seeing some answers coming here. On-time onboarding for students, okay, somewhat right, because it has got more number of openings. No, that's not correct. Demand for fresher is higher in this company. That is also not correct. Okay, they're more in number across the globe. That is also not correct. There are a lot of small and mid-sized companies in India to hire freshers. Okay, that is also there, but it's not only the numbers, right? If you look at the big, say even Indian companies and MNCs, right? Typically, when they want to recruit talent or any type of a fresh engineer, they go for campuses. And when they go for campuses, they hire from campus. They also have the muscle to train them for 3 months, 6 months. Then they can put into the project. But if you look at a mid-sized companies or a startup, they don't have that muscle. They recruit you. They need to put you into the project immediately or quickly. So that's the reason why them going to the campuses is not a feasible option. So for them, the better option is coming to Emertxe. In fact, the bigger company follows the reverse approach. They go to the campus. Let's say, any of the MNCs typically, they go to a top-notch MNC, top-notch IITs or NITs. They'll try to fill as many positions as possible, but still they're not able to fill. For the pending positions, they will come here. That's not the primary channel, right? They'll go to NIT, they go to IIT, they go to BITS, right? All these MNCs, right? They go there typically. Whatever they don't have, they will come to Emertxe. But on the contrary, the small and medium businesses, even for that matter, startups, they can't go to the campuses because when they get from campus, they cannot spend time in training them. They want to get into the productive node very soon. So that's why they prefer more of training institutions. That's the reason why they come here. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear to all of you? Yeah, Satya is telling they want us to work on client project from day 1. That's correct. They want trained and skilled engineers, says Adityan. Very nice. Limited number of opening and leaders need talented employees. Kishore, right? All of them are correct answers, right? Are you able to see why it is like that? Can you get some responses? Are you able to relate why it is like that? I want some more answers. Vaishnavi is telling yes, sir. I need some more answers, guys. Come on. Okay, all right. So let us move on and try to understand this a little bit more, right? So why do they come? Look at why do these companies hire from Emertxe? Obvious reasons. One is when they hire some student, they join immediately. They don't need to wait. And because of that, there is a reduced cost in terms of training. The cost comes from because, for example, number of people who come to attend the interview or number of people are getting selected, there is always a ratio, right? And then because they're already trained, as already some of you said, you are readily deployable to the project. That way efficiency is better. And our team, basically Emertxe team, be it mentors, be it a student success team and the placement team, we give them a very professional service to the companies. We give them very fast response, right? And we ensure that there is no offer rejection that happens. Suppose a company comes and makes 5 offers, right? All 5 will join. Right? And we give them an end-to-end support, right? From floating an application, shortlisting, sending the students, right? And then lining up for the interviews, and then them basically getting selected, going and joining, everything we give them. So that's the reason why they come to Emertxe. Okay. And other important thing is the skill part, right? Today, if you look at embedded systems, right, not many institutes which are training in embedded domain. That's also a reason why they hire from Emertxe. Now, if you look at our target jobs, again, this also I discussed quite a bit in my induction classes these days, right? You have to understand when I say core job, right? Many of them will not be able to define what is a core job. Okay? To make it simple, I would say any smart system today, any smart system in the sense like it could be a smart watch, right? It could be a smart air conditioning system, smart washing machine, right? Smartphone, right? Ideally, at a high level, it has got a software and hardware. You can see the orange colored boxes there, right? If you look at the hardware part of it, right? Predominantly, people who are interested to get into VLSI design or the hardware or board design come into picture. You can see in the right side of the, right side of the slide, right? This is more of a hardware profile. But if you look at the software, again, there are 2 types of software here. For example, when you take this phone, right? There are certain software which comes as an OS, for example, Android OS. Then there's a device driver that comes into that, maybe for a display, maybe for various sensors. So that is what we call as a system software, the core software. Then I am also going into the Play Store, installing various applications. That is called as application software, which you guys call as an IT job, right? So when I say we are training you people for a core job, please note that the core job is nothing but still a software only. We're not teaching any board design. We're not going to teach you any chip design or something like that, right? What we're going to do here is we are still going to do the software job only. But this particular software, whichever you're going to write, right, which is actually based on C programming or C++ programming and program a particular hardware using this particular programming languages. For example, you are going to write a bootloader which will sit in that particular watch, right? Or you're going to write an application. For example, whenever you are using a smartwatch, right, what do? You turn on your app in your phone, right? Morning, you're putting a charge, right? Then you just sync, right? You sync the watch and the phone. So what is that? That is a kind of a application running over Bluetooth. Right? These type of activities, what we call as a system software, which is nothing but the core software, where you also need to know programming language. Along with that, you also need to have a better idea of hardware. You cannot just like that, right? Whereas the application developer guy, he will write applications without much worried about the bottom line hardware. Suppose I'm writing a mobile application, right? Yes, I have some idea how the Android works, how iPhone, iOS works, right? But what I do, as long as I take out my software logic, I'm fine. I'm generally not bothered about saying that whether I'm going to run it in a Samsung, S24, or I'm going to run it in an Apple phone, maybe 17 model or 18 model, right? I'm not bothered about that. That's why if you see, right, that application, whatever they develop and put it in the Play Store. Anybody from any phone can download and install. On the contrary, there is a system software. An operating system updates the system is giving, right? That you can see, right? You cannot download from a Play Store. Whereas your device provider, be it Nokia, be it Samsung, or be it OnePlus, right? They push an update, say, hey, there's a new update for your operating system, Android, which you're using, right? So that is nothing but your system software or the core software. Because it's very important, I started covering these aspects in the induction class also, because when I checked with many of the students, they don't even know what is a target job. They say core job. When I ask that, is a civil core, electronics core, electrical core, I don't know if core means core. Then say, what is your understanding of core? Are you going to design something? Or are you going to programming something? Right? Because the definition of core job for a civil engineer may be constructing the bridge. Right? A definition for a chemical engineer, right, is to basically perform a material investigation, right? Material science, you need to do an investigation. That is his core job. Or study about a particular dye, right? Study about a particular color or paint. That could be his, core job. But for a ECE, EEE, or even for that matter, the computer science students, right? The system software job is nothing but the core job. So it's very important that you guys understand what target jobs you are basically going to aim at. Okay? And you know, right, today this particular core software or whatever we talk about, right, it is presence across all the industries. So think about the retail store when you walk in, right? Okay, look at the number of devices that you've come across, right? Right from a barcode scanner, right? Or when you come and make the payments, right? You see, right? There's earlier it was called as swiping machine. Now it does beyond swiping, because whenever you're going last, what is that? Is it a UPI or is it a QR base or your card, right? So there also card also there's a swipe is there, there is a tap is there, right? So all those things are coming powered by this particular embedded software or a core software, right? Similarly, there are some countries where I was watching, I think in Japan, where the self-checkout culture is there. You walk into a retail shop, suppose you go to a grocery shop, you want to buy vegetables, right? You only buy everything, you only bill everything and then come, right? Okay. So like that, this example, right, this particular core software, it is utilized across various industries, be it environmental, industry, smart city, education, automotive, power, healthcare, logistics, smart home, agriculture, energy, everywhere this particular core software is powering. Okay. And more use cases are coming up. Look at, for example, industries, right? Typically, they have been using the mechanical equipment so far. Let us say somebody is doing certain, pen manufacturing unit, right? Or a soap manufacturing unit. They are using what? They are using a traditional mechanical based industries. Now you need to enable with them software so we can optimize the various issues that are happening in the shop floor. So that way, software is today very powerful, empowering all these verticals or empowering all these industries. Now the question here is, this is a very important slide for all of you. Okay, suppose you are comparing an MNC, mid-size and a startup. Okay. I'm seeing students are having a lot of myth in their mind, saying that, hey, you know what, I'll only apply for this company. Right? I will not apply for this company. Right? So there's a lot of myth, and that particular decision, if you want to ask, right, how do you decide which company you need to apply? Because when you started applying, right? Okay, just a minute, guys, this video, let me go off the video for some time. It looks like there's some bandwidth issue. All right. So now let us look into this particular, every company category. Okay. Let us basically compare them under various parameters. What are the parameters? Brand name, learning and growth opportunities, work challenges, right? Effective experience, and stability. Let us take 5 parameters and compare all these type of companies. So when you say MNC, obviously one of the reasons why everybody wants to go is brand name. It doesn't matter what you do. People say, hey, I work for some big company, because more than you, right? Or people in my hometown or your native, they feel very happy. Right? So brand name is very important for an MNC. That's why you're happy. Everybody wants to get in there. If you look at a mid-size company, right? Or even for that matter, a startup, right? They don't have much brand. At least mid-size is still okay. Startup fellows have started only few months back or a year back, right? They don't have a brand name at all. So this is a brand, because that's the reason why everybody wants to nowadays. Whenever I'm buying something, I'm buying a shoe, or I'm buying a watch, and I'm buying a pair of jeans, right? Everywhere I want a brand name. I want to buy a Levi's, right? Or I want to buy an Apple iPhone, or I want to buy a Reebok shoe, or I want to buy a Skechers shoe, right? So everywhere we want that particular brand to be given. That is why majority of students, when they ask, right, they want to get into an MNC. Whereas mid-size and startups may not be many of them preferring these days, but that's not correct. I'll come to that shortly, right? But on the contrary, the learning and growth in a MNC may not be that fast. So when you say learning and growth opportunity, right? Whenever you're going and joining this company, in any of these companies, end of the day, there will be a manager for you, and then the manager will be asking you certain roles and responsibilities. So what happens in a MNC is that since things are already well set, right? For example, every department will have a sub-department, sub-team, right? Everything is well defined there. So when you go and join as a fresh engineer, right, there may not be much of learning and growth. I'm not generalizing that, I'm telling you a relative scale. Whereas if you look at a mid-sized company or in a startup, right, where things are not yet defined much, there's a lot to be done, and typically they will have a lesser number of people. That's the reason when you go to work in a mid-size or startup companies, your learning and growth opportunity will be excellent. And kindly note your future salary growth. People also ask, right? So what about working in a mid-size or startup? What about the salaries? Right? May not be they will pay immediately to start with, But once you prove that you are a high performer, even the mid-size or startup companies themselves will pay you pretty well. Or even in worst case, after working in a mid-size or startup, if you go for a MNC, you can get selected way more easily because the learning that you would have had in mid-size and startup is very, very high. I used to use this particular terminology called effective experience, right? Somebody works for an MNC, right? For 1 year, their effective experience could be maybe 1 year or less than that, maybe 8 months or 10 months, depending on the project, right? But whereas somebody working in a mid-sized company for 1 year, their effective experience will be 1.5 years or 2 years for that matter, because every day this person goes to the office, he's facing a new challenge, he's learning new things. That way, compared to a guy who are in a big company where things are well defined and going smoothly, compared to that, this mid-sized company student is learning much more. And kindly note, going forward, your salary will be purely proportional on your learning and growth opportunities, how much you harnessed it, how much you learned it, how well your skill development has become. That's the reason why companies will pay for. Right? That way, if you ask me, I always tell people from an MNC, if somebody want to go to a mid-size or a startup, it is hard because the skill level expectation would be very high. On the contrary, somebody is working in a startup, want to work for an MNC, it is relatively far easy because the work has already been well defined. You would handle much more responsibilities in the startup or even for the mid-size companies. So my request of telling these things, guys, just to give you an awareness, saying that do not ignore the mid-size and the startups. So many times I hear students saying that placement teams keeps telling me, sir, nobody's applying for this company, right? A mid-size company or startup company, they're doing pretty good work for that matter. The growth opportunities are very good. So everybody's saying, I want to only apply for a branded company. My request is, please come out of that. Because if you see the work challenge wise, right? I'm not generalizing, but it's a general trend I'm saying, right? Your mid-size and startup will give you a lot of challenging responsibilities, because of which your effective work experience will be higher. As I said, if you work in a startup for 1 year, that is equal to working in a big company for maybe worked up to 2 years. Because your rate of learning will be very high. Of course, one of the reasons why people prefer a mid-size or a startup, right, or MNC over a mid-size startup is basically the stability. When something happens, there's a likely that a mid-size company may go down or a startup may get shut down. The MNC may not be able to do that. They have mitigation strategies. So that's the reason if you see, right, mid-size companies and small-size companies, they go for shutdown. Whereas MNCs and big companies, they go for layoffs. That's a challenge. Like, for example, when the COVID happened, a lot of mid-size companies and startups, what happened? They closed it because they have not to lose. Whereas a big company, even now, they will keep on laying off people so that they can keep their economics and they keep their business metrics under some control. So my request here to all of you who are listening to this webinar today is to ensure that please do not underestimate, or please do not say, I'll only apply for these MNC companies. Then what happens? MNC companies, typically competition also will be very high. So many applications may come. And when you send the application to the companies, they may say, no, we cannot take so much. We can only shortlist this much. Then you get disappointed. They come and blame us, saying, Emertxe placement is not giving opportunity. That's not the idea, right? Please consider mid-size and startups also when you start applying, because the learning that you're going to get you, believe me, it's going to come to you for a long period of time. Okay. And other thing is like, if you look at this, right, majority of you do not know or do not read a company whenever you are given. Suppose there's a placement application, right? Our placement team would have given basically a company URL, right? Nobody clicks that. And very few percent of them are click that. And they also need to look into what sort of a role you are going to play, rather than going for a designation. Always go for a role, because role is what you're going to perform every day. Designation means I can give anything in your business card. So ensure that you guys initially, when you're starting your career, right, get into a company where there is a very good amount of learning opportunities are there, because that only will propel your career further to get into either in the existing company itself you grow, or you change your company and then grow in the new organization. So now when it comes to this, right, our students also, I'm going to show you some success stories, not a recent ones. Quite some time back when we placed some students, right, it is not necessary that It's not necessary that all the students, start in a big company, right? You see here, for that matter, when you distribute the percentage, what did I say? The answer, right? Basically, it's like a, I think it's like a 10, 70, and 20, 70, and 10. That is what distribution is, right? So majority of them should apply and get selected in the mid-sized companies only, right? That's very important, right? So let us see, some questions here. Okay. I'm applying to each and every company, not seeing MNC mid startups. Still, companies give 100 and select 5, and it's become very competitive even after a course. Yes, Pritesh, I agree with you. Okay, that is where, if you ask me, everyday battle what we put in our placement team is to get more shortlisting for our students. Okay, and other part, I also request all of you to understand here is, I think I clarified in the monthly meeting. Let me clarify you once again, right? In case there is a lesser number of shortlisting happens, let us say let us take your own case, right? 100 people have applied, 5 people got shortlisted. Okay, who does that shortlisting? Is it Emertxe does the shortlisting, or the company does the shortlisting? Who is a decision maker here? I want to hear from all of you. Who want to answer that? Who want to answer that? Company, both. Okay, company, right? Both, company only, right? So please be very clear, right? It is the company who is basically applying for the shortlisting. Okay. And often people get offended, they get disappointed. Yes, we understand, but they come and bang us. You know what? Placement company is not giving me opportunity. Right? Placement company is not giving me the shortlisting, right? It is not. Right? In fact, we try to push more on your behalf. We say, somebody says, I shortlisted 10 students, say, can you please shortlist more? Right? Okay. So our endeavor is always that, for example, to push for more shortlisting only. In fact, the more shortlisting means what? The more probability of getting selected, isn't it? That's a simple equation. Number of applicants is the number of shortlisting, is the number of selections. If you see, right, the ratio will be similar. So we want to have more shortlisting so that we can have more selections. So if you ask me, we also push the companies hard. So my request to all the students attending today's session is that in case there is a chance that you're not getting shortlisted, right? Don't come and erupt on us. Say, you know what, these placement fellows don't give me opportunities. They don't shortlist. There's some partiality going on. There's some politics going on. Only few people get shortlisted. Or even they might one more massage. Only power track students get shortlisted. Please don't get into that, right? But when companies ask for a shortlisting, they may ask for additional data also. Please note, right? They're not shortlisting based on gender. Okay, fine. All the girl students are shortlist, boys I will not shortlist, right? Or they're not shortlisting based on, let us say, your academic score. That is also not the case, right? So they do see your performance in Emertxe. How many projects you have done? What is your score in C programming, right? It matters. Right? At least I will not come across any student coming and telling me, saying that, sir, I know my C programming score is low. Maybe because of this, I'm not getting shortlisted. Can you help me how to improve my C scores? So maybe I've done only the 2 projects, right? I wanted to get more shortlist. Can you help me to work on 2 more projects? So that's the right approach. Because if you come and bang us saying that, this placement should do it, it's of no use. In fact, we are here to support you only. The more shortlisting only we would like to give you, right? So my request is, right, okay, that is and sometimes when the shortlisting are like that, we also cannot go and ask the company saying, you know what, why only you shortlisted so many, right? We also need to basically what do you call, go with what the companies are telling. Okay, I'm MSc electronic graduate, only mail I receive for eligible for only engineering. No, not correct. Manju, you need to take a closer look, right? If you still have queries, talk to your placement team, right? Okay. So company, I think many of you are telling company you're doing shortlisted. Okay. Okay. So Sri Datta Vasudev Murkipudi, right? Could you please also tell us what are the key factors will play out for profiles getting shortlisted? I think I already told you. Let me repeat once again. Your performance in Emertxe, especially your C module courses, how much you scored, right? And then how many projects you have done. These things matter. Right? So what we think, right? See, we think that everything to happen by magic. I'll apply means somebody should shortlist me. Where it is coming from? Where it is coming from? When I apply means I should get shortlisted and I should get selected. Okay? You know where it is coming from? Because today, if you look at engineering situation in India, there is always more number of seats available than the number of students applying for engineering. So when you apply for engineering, you're almost sure that you'll get a seat, right? Somewhere or another. This brand, that brand, right? The same mentality continues. When somebody says, no, I'm not, you feel offended. My God, nobody shortlisted me. How come it can happen, right? But that's a reality, right? So my idea is basically, always that's why we say, right, you need to do well in our modules. If you want to score well in our modules, what is happening? You need to do more projects. In order for you to do more projects, you need to come do more assignments. If you want to do more assignments, you need to come to our class regularly. Here it's becoming very difficult. For example, last week I was addressing a particular batch, right? We told them that 1:30 there is a student success orientation, right? Our team went and told, and that has happened post lunch. After lunch, 10 guys have vanished, right? So if your behavior is not going to change, but you want a different result, how it is possible, right? My request to all of you is that please be rest assured that we are here to support you. And many times, whatever you are doing, you could be doing because you are not aware, or the old habits or the bad habits from the college is still continuing. Please note that will not going to work as you move forward with the companies. So why I'm spending time here as a part of Disha is to give you guys the orientation, give you that particular guidance so that you don't do those mistakes. Because nobody guided you so far, right? Or even if you're guided right, you are guided not in the correct manner. Because we work with the companies, we know them pretty well. So my request to all of you is that it is companies who are going to shortlist. And if you want more shortlisting, you show more in terms of your merit. How you show more in from merit? Better module scores, more number of projects. As simple as that. Okay. Companies knows who are perfect fit for the roles. Okay. Should we be compulsory present in Bangalore for an interview, sir, if we get selected? It depends, right? Guru Sai, wherever the company is there located, we need to go. Okay. Bhunesh is telling why the number of companies coming to institute have decreased. I don't know. Every monthly meeting I show the data. I don't know whether you've seen that or not, right? There is an impact of recession. Let us not, hide away and run away from it, right? If you look at 2022, we used to tell 100 companies per month, right? Okay, now we are at a 50s and 60s every month. Every month I show the graph, right? Every induction class I show the graph. Every monthly meeting I show the graph. Until what is the reality? That's the reality, right? Are we trying to work hard to get more companies? Yes, we are working. But what if they're not ready to? There's no opening only, right? There is because of the situation, or we are waiting, following up, and then we try to push the companies also as much to get you guys here. But definitely there is a impact because of the current economic situation. That does not run away from this. In case if I say that no, nothing is there, everything is well. In fact, I'm telling wrong, right? Okay, Bhunesh. Okay, keeping some screening tests for shortlisting would be better. See, every company, Pooja, we may not have time, right? Okay, for example, whenever we float an application, right, the company may want the list to be given very, very, very shortly. Okay, so that time we cannot wait. We need to send the list very, very quickly, right? Same thing with Sai Shilpa also. Nowadays, selected persons are very less. No, that's also I'm saying. You need to see it in a holistic manner. You see 1 or 2 emails and come to a conclusion, only can save you, right? We know the hiring ratios. We know how many openings are there. We know basically how long you need to look into. I would say we are doing pretty okay. But if you ask me, can we do better? Yes, we can do far better. To answer your question, Sai Silpa, why there is a lesser number of selections in a company? Because good number of companies come back to and tell us, you know what, your students are not good in fundamental C programming. Your students are not able to answer the basics of microcontroller programming. Right? Then we go and punch the mentors, saying that, hey, you teach this, you teach this. They say, yes, sir, we're teaching this. This is what we teach, this is what we teach, right? So the idea is how well you're prepared, right? They're not expecting anything rocket science here. Whatever is being taught in the course itself, many of the students are not taking it seriously. They think that I paid the fees to institution like Emertxe, it is their responsibility to get me a job. It is like coming and telling, right? I am basically part of the Indian cricket team. Somebody should give me a IPL trophy or ICC trophy. No, I think the Champions Trophy will, right? They need to win towards it. No, work and win it, right? Nobody, just because you're part of something, nobody will give you something in your hand, right? The same thing here. right? Companies still have openings. They're not able to fill. For example, we go and talk to LG. They say we have 50 openings, right? In that, how many we are able to fill from Emertxe? Hardly 25, 20. Then what happened to the remaining 30? 30 may go anywhere to other institution, to referral. It may go to anywhere, right? All I'm requesting is that there is already enough opportunities out there. It is up to us to grab it. How do I grab it? Show performance. Okay. All right. So percentage who will shortlist company Emertxe, I think I already told Raju, right? Okay. Swapnil is asking, sir, being an experienced candidate, will there be any chance to get higher packages than packages offered for freshers by the company that comes for placement in Emertxe? It's a good question, Swapnil. We already taken this particular case up. Okay, so we are discussing with the company saying that, hey, look, this guy is already there. But my point is, whenever we are discussing with the working professionals, there is the same story holds. People who are working professional, they join the course, but they don't complete the projects, or they not been regular. Suppose your resume has got 10 projects, that gives you a lot of energy. In fact, recently, we have we were speaking with 2-3 companies where not a fresher, we are directly trying to see them, can we place you in the lateral, not as an entry level, So, and that way means what? There is a chance that they may consider your previous experience and then they may give you a higher salary. In fact, recently it has happened with student from Qualcomm also. A couple of them got selected. One student had got a previous experience, right? So they considered that and given a higher salary. These things do happen. But the point is, what is there in your resume? If your resume is the same way how you joined 3 months or 6 months back in Emertxe, we can't help it, right? And there is no point in we can go and demand saying that, hey, my resume, I will do the same thing. Yeah, I buy a treadmill and keep it in my balcony. Will I lose weight? No. Right? We need to work towards it. My simple request to all of you, I think questions are coming in different direction. My simple question to all of you, a simple challenge, I would say, work on 10 projects. Can't you do 2 projects per module? Let us say C, right? Linux internals, microcontrollers, data structures. 4 module you take, 4 into 2, 8, right? Let us say 1 in C++, maybe 1 in Qt or any other module, right? 10 projects if we can do. Definitely all these questions will get automatically evaluated, taken care. Because when the resume they see, they need to see something now to shortlist. If your resume look the same how it was in college, or one or two projects only got added, right? The probability of getting selected goes down. Kindly note, this is all done by the companies, not us. Right? From our side, we always push. They say 5 people and say, can you shortlist more? Right? And recently also there was a scenario where one company, they shortlisted a few students, but none of them got selected. Then they came back and then they said, no, we have some more students in the list which you forgot, the right set of students. Can you take them, evaluate them? Then we shared your C programming scores, we shared your project details, right? Then you shortlisted more. So from our side, we continue to push. You don't need to worry about it. That is our job. And my point is, right, even if you're Rohit Sharma, you need to score in the ground, no? Right? If you go and come back means what is the point, right? My request is to think in that direction. One of the reasons why I'm doing this session is to make you guys think in that direction. Okay. So in which month most of the companies come to hire Emertxe? Again, that depends on month. We are not running a campus interview here. If you ask me every month, do we can get that number of companies? Yes, we do get. But will Qualcomm will come, or some XYZ company will come, will Microchip will come? We cannot say, because it purely depends on the demand from the company. This is not like a campus interview. Campus interview, what happens in the end of 3rd year, you basically line up certain students, companies, right? It's well calendarized. Ours is not like that. They come to us on a demand basis, right? So whenever there's a demand, they come. And do our placement team work with them very closely? Do they follow up on a very regular basis? Yes. On daily basis, they do that. Okay. What is the minimum number of projects we must have for a better profile, right? That's a good question. This is a good question. I really like this question, Kamal Patil. I already told you the magic number is 10. 10. If you have 10 projects in your resume, and when you say 10 projects, again, that also I need to make it clear with you guys, right? The moment people say 10 projects are set, no? Today night only I'll write it, right? Those 10 projects should be done by you, not by copy pasting. Okay, copy pasting will forward. What is there? When we see that, right, 10 projects somebody has put, we'll forward. But what will happen to you when you go to the interview? You will not be able to answer. And my request again to all of you is that, okay, please don't do copying. Copying has become, if you ask me, in Emertxe, The copying is becoming like a pandemic. Given a chance, students want to copy. Why? I used to, in the college, I had done that. I want to look good in my note. That way, if you ask me, all your marks cards are looking good, but you are not able to crack the interviews. Right? Same way, if you continue copying Emertxe, we also train. We're changing the question paper, we're changing the question paper order, bringing more complexity. Anything that we do, you find a way to crack it. Right? By doing that, who is the biggest loser? It is you people. Right? We keep putting our efforts. Right? We need. All I'm requesting is cooperate with us. Please support us. We are here to make you successful, right? If you copy a project and go, right, what will you answer? Take your resume will look what, 10, 15 also somebody can put. What is it? But when you go to interview, when they ask a question, they should be able to answer. And guy who is sitting in the interview panel, he's got no obligation to select you. He may select the whomever is the best. Right? There's no, just because we are sending through Emertxe doesn't mean that no, you need to select some number of students. There's no obligation like that. For them, as I think some of you said in the here itself, the answer is right. They will pick Kumar is the best guy for their job. Okay, so don't get into this idea of copying. Don't get into the idea of anyways it is their responsibility, not it is your responsibility. I would put right. We are here to, on the contrary, we are here to support you. You want to work with mentors, work on more projects. You want to talk to a student success team. You want to take some help from placement team. We are here. Right. End of the day, as I said, right, even if it's a Rohit Sharma, until he scored the 100 in Cuttack, he was going through the controversy, right? You are going through the criticism, right? The same thing applies to all of us. Okay. What about us, people from mechanical background, right? Despite not being selected through Emertxe, I'm forced by my family to give up and work with them in a farm. I'm convinced them enough, but I don't know what to do, right? See, I don't know what in your case, Raghavendra, okay, please reach out to our team. I don't know what you mean by good score in C. Okay, and I'll also try to talk to our team. Right? Talk to our team, student success team, reach out to them, explain the situation because we have to take a look into your data. Because currently now I don't have a data, so I'm not able to answer. Right? Okay. I applied to most companies, but I'm not shortlisted wise. I selected some companies for second round, but the role is mechanical. Why did Emertxe not tell it was a mechanical role? Because before it, I don't know, Saravana Kumar, which company you're talking about. Okay, I don't know. Again, here if I need a data. If you can shoot me an email or to our support team, support@emertxe.com, we can take a look. Okay. So company may be very well working in a mechanical domain because as I showed in the previous slide, right? Every domain is today enabled by the embedded software. Maybe you are working in a mechanical industry. Recently, there was I took a photo also in the event, right? Imtex, Indian machine tool exhibition, right? Every machine today is getting enabled with a digital or a software with it. Right? Be it a printing machine, be it a milling machine, be it a cranes, everything is software controlled today. Right? Maybe you are working in a mechanical industry, but you are working in a core embedded software. But as far as our experience goes, right, we send you for that role only. Maybe in your website you see they are making cranes. That way if you see, right, your Mahindra is making cars only, no? Right? That way Mercedes is making cars only, right? Are you going to work on the mechanical component? No. You're going to work on the embedded side of it. Maybe in infotainment, maybe in the automated driver assistance system. Right? Maybe in the safety critical system, right? That is how it is. I don't think your understanding is right, but if you can give me that specific company where the company people told it's a mechanical role, then we can check. Okay. If you want to get placed in the institute, the attendance should be 85%. Yeah, whatever. See, you guys do your basics. That's what I'm saying, right? You guys maintain your attendance. See, if you're regular only, you will be able to basically, you'll be able to crack it, right? Okay. Raghav, losing motivation and touch with the touch with the course, please guide me. Thank you, Raghavendra. I understand, Raghavendra, right? It is not a easy thing to crack. Okay. But unfortunately, what has happened, right? When you go through this particular process, it is a tough process. You're not aiming at any other job. No, today, if you want a job, people can get any job. That's not the idea. But now, whenever you're going through this particular process of getting into core job is a challenging thing, right? So what is the way to look at it? Don't give up, first of all. Yes, I understand. Things may not come immediately. Because so far, what has happened? Even yesterday, I was in conversation with my college senior, right? He has got a son who is studying engineering. I spoke to him, and then I spoke to my senior also. If you look back, and maybe you can just answer me everything, right? If you look back, majority of the things that you wanted in life came relatively easy, including your engineering seat, right? You want something, parents already had it ready for you. All of you should agree to me, right? Okay, whenever you say, Papa, I want this, how many of you heard no from your parents? Now, all of a sudden, when you're hearing no from the companies, you're not able to take it, which is natural. If I were in your situation, right, I will also say that go through the same. Because in my case, I would say, right, before I reached my job level, right, I heard a lot of no's. I had a lot of no's from many people. If you go and look into my previous generation, they heard more no's than me, right? But as generation progressed, right, we started hearing lesser no. In your case, you listen even more lesser no's. Tell me, when is the last time somebody said no to you? No, it cannot possible. It's not possible. No, I will not give you this. Right? Very less. But suddenly company saying no, then you cannot take it. Oh my God, how can you say that? How can this happen to me? Then what do you see? Which is the easiest way to punch? Emertxe. Chalo, Emertxe ko punch maro, right? Punch the placement department, punch the mentors, punch the student success, or if not, punch the companies also. You know what? These companies are fully political. They don't have any openings. People are telling, right? Okay, there's a saying, right? Okay, if I don't know, in Hindi they say, right? Like Ankan Teda, right? If you know the dance, you have a, I don't know, Nachna Teda Ankan, something of that sort, right? So you play your game well, right? Okay, no matter whatever the type of pitch, you will win. My request is, yes, it's hard. You need to stay put. I'm asking too much from you. Your generation is not used to hearing no, right? First time, probably majority of you hearing no. When I'm applied, I'm not shortlisted. When I'm going to interview, I'm not getting selected. Means say what? No, no. Never heard. But getting used to it is important, right? My request is no means only now. It's not that always no. The positive way, the motivation point, Raghavendra, what they say in my general age, like what? No means it's no now, not always no. That means there's always a better day tomorrow. Now, for example, Virat Kohli suffering from form, right? Only one series it has gone bad, no? There's always a better series. There's always a next match. Keep on playing. Right? One fine day, definitely click. But the point is, you want everything to come to you very quickly. Company come and say, oh, write it and give it to you. Whichever company you want, right? That will not happen. Okay. Hope it makes sense. Mahesh Reddy, career gap also same thing. Okay. Okay. Sir, small doubt, like mails we get, but in like Insta, something in post, there are drives, but we are not getting the info. See, okay, this is another interesting point, right? See, what happens, Ramesh? There are two things here. It's a nice question, by the way, Ramesh is asking, right? Only, sir, we are getting something in the Google group and we are something in the Insta. Okay. Very simple logic, nothing to complicate this, right? See, this Google group is maintained by our placement team, right? The social media, Insta is maintained by our social media team. So what happens is from this team to this team, the information gets passed, right? It takes some time. That way you see, because I know both the teams very well, right? So I can answer on behalf of both of them, right? So what happens is, always you see, right? If you compare, because you have the access to the groups now, right? Okay. If you see, compare and see, right? The Instagram data will be a older data than the group data. If you want, right, go and check and do all your R&D, because I know that's what happens, right? Okay. So if you look at the placement drive, right? Whatever happened today, will it come tomorrow? No. The information need to pass to the social media team, then to create a poster, then to find a logo, then to then to put the hashtag, whatever, right? Because they have a different publishing calendar. They publish as per that, right? Placement calendar is different. So that's the reason why there is a delay. But please note, there is no cook-up happening here. Please don't get it right. For example, either kuch aata, udhar kuch aur dalte. No, that we never did in the past 20 years. I don't think we'll ever do that going forward. Also. Every data that comes in the Google group is also truth. Whatever data comes in Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube, whatever you can call social media, that is also 100% truth. There's no two ways about it, right? There's a delay because the manual process. No, this team and this team are different. That's the only difference. Ramesh, right? Okay. Are placement opportunities in online and offline differ? Yes. Okay. It depends on the company. As I told you, right, we are talking about copying in exams. Right? Same thing, the copying has become prevalent, okay, in the online written test. And in our case also, almost we caught some students, but general what I heard from companies is that even in the online interviews also, right, people are doing proxies. So even the online way of hiring is convenient to the companies. They shifted to the offline or a paper-based hiring because they wanted to hire the right set of people. Right? So because of that, there is a difference between online and offline. Okay. So Meenal is telling, sir, my passout year is 2015 and I had an experience in non-technical field for almost 2 years. How much is the chance to get selected in companies? Doesn't matter. Right? My question is reverse, Meenal. Right? You're asking about how many resumes, sorry, how many projects is there in your resume from Emertxe? Can you answer me that question? I'll just come back to you. Okay. So, Raghavendra, last time you mentioned the recession was going to end, but start of 2020, that is what I was mentioning. Yes, that's what we are hoping, right? We're hoping, right? Hopefully things will get better, right? Some things are coming up, some things are, because I'm not a pundit to predict it will happen, right? Like a pandemic. If at all I have the power, I will say resume the recession should get over yesterday, right? We are seeing some positivities, right? Hopefully it should get better, right? Now the war is going, many areas the war is getting stopped. If you see the Israel-Palestine war has stopped, right? I think there's a presidential changes happened in America, right? Hope these things will add up. Okay. All right. So Mahesh Babu is asking, so suppose some students are strong in C and some students are strong in C++. At the time they consider like who are strong in C and those people only for 4 LPA, who are strong in C++, those people only for 10 LPA and above. Like this will happen. See, largely it is C programming, Mahesh, right? Largely it is C programming. Okay. Don't break too much into your head, right? Okay. So which one placements are more in December and January? The graph is more low compared to all months. So January, I don't think you need to do too much of research. Right? As I said, no, it here and there, it just evens out. Right? Don't break too much into it. For us, it's always say what happens is, I'll tell you a very simple example of December. Right? After December we would have floated more applications. Right? We cannot schedule because after January 15th, people will go for a Christmas break. Right? Even if you want to schedule, the HR may not be available. Right? Our HR or technical person, they say, my team is on leave, we'll only see in January. They come back in January, then the new year, right? They go for planning, they go for discussion. That's the reason. My request is, don't see 1 month, don't see 2 months. See it in a holistic manner. That's why I was saying, right? We are hovering around 50s and 60s. Earlier, we are in hundreds. That is the truth. Okay? So don't see 1 or 2 months, see it in a probably in a 4 or 4 month number, right? Okay. Suraj is asking, sir, can you show how many months, how many students are selected monthly? I think I already answered multiple times in the monthly meeting. Let me also repeat the answer here. Right? If you want to show, we can show. But what I'm saying is that is not the right way to show, because whenever we are selecting a particular batch, when can I say a particular batch, the success ratio of the batch is when we measure the placement by the end of the 2 years. If you publish it before, right, probably you will start interpreting all the months. See, already you see, right, with the information that we publish, right, that itself is, you guys are doing unwanted R&D. If you ask me, honestly, very, very honestly, if you ask me, right, majority of the questions are in a unwanted research areas. You may get me wrong also, or you may feel offended with this statement, right? Because you are not asking the right questions. Only one student asked me the right questions. So tell me what I should have in my resume, right? Okay. So if you share more data, it will even go bonkers. But if you ask me a very thing, right? Umar has done the projects, Umar has done that particular C model well, definitely they all got placed. That's what our counselors communicate in the induction, and it takes time. And if you ask me, have you done it in the past? The analysis, yes, we have done. For example, a batch which started in 2021, did you do analysis 2023? Yes, we have done that and we have data. Okay. So that's the reason we don't publish the monthly data. Hope it's clear. Okay. Sir, for 4 LPA to 5 LPA, we want QT to learn. See, some companies these days, they're all, asking for the QT, right? That's why some of them are, our mentors also giving more push towards that, right? Again, don't, correlate with LPS. Right? The more number of companies are asked, see like that. Okay? Gokul is asking, so I'm 30 plus, so I can't apply to big companies. I can attend interviews at small companies. I'm middle of my course and receiving placement mails, but I see that only one company per week has no percentage, no era passing criteria. So I'm trying hard and taking it seriously to improve my skills. Gokul, again, unwanted R&D. Okay. If you see in the last, every monthly meeting, I show the data. In the last month, that is January, also I share the data. Hang on for a week. If you have doubts, I'll come back to you towards the end of the February also and show you, right? Month on month data, or even if you see in a cumulative fashion, right? Almost till 60% of the companies are asking for any era password and any percentage. Okay. In January data, if you want to check, right, go back and check the January video. I think the first video did not get recorded. I think the second video you can still check. Okay. if you have doubts, come back next week or so. We'll be continuing this discussion. We'll do the February monthly meeting. There you come and check. I'll run the Excel and show you. Okay. Don't break too much into it. Don't break into your age group and all. 30 is not at all a number, right? You are still very, very young. You have a long way to go in your career. Okay. Because I've seen people even at the age of 40, they kind of discover a new career. Okay. So don't have, I understand the pressure that you're going through, but don't too much break into your age point of view. My request is ask me the right questions, right? Ask me more real questions which will give the answers. You know what you're asking me, right? You're not asking me, sir, suppose I'm a cricket player. Okay, I'm a batsman. What sort of question you should ask me, right? Suppose I'm a batting coach, right? I'm a coach. Let us say I'm Gautam Gambhir sitting in front of you, right? You're a batsman. What question should you ask? Okay, how to play a bouncer, right? How to play a Yorker? How do we prepare for that spin bowler? How do we prepare for us, for example, reverse swing, right? That should be the question you're asking. What are you telling me, right? Sir, in the dressing room, that AC is not working. Will it affect my placements? That umpire is wearing a red color cap today. Will it affect my placements? Right? Today, the bowler bowled from the left to right, he walked. Will it affect my placements? Right? Okay. So you are talking about all the factors which is not going to have any impact. Whereas you should be asking things which is going to impact your placements. My request is focus on that. Okay. So that's what is the next question. Look at this Pritesh. Again, he's adding one more, right? So if the company has no era password, that means they're looking for an experienced candidate, or they're seeing a career gap after graduation. Nothing. They're coming and telling me, don't read. This is what I'm telling. Again, unwanted R&D, research and development, right? No era password means they don't care. You go and prove that you are worth it, they'll take you. Look at this, Gokul and Pritesh, right? You're talking about the same problem, but your perspectives are different. And both the perspectives, if you ask me, negative perspectives. That's my worry. Every monthly meeting and what happens, right? That's why I thought, okay, last time we tried to give a different, we could not do it every month. And I said, every month, what is I'm doing? Every month you throw me a question, right? I'll punch you. Keep on punching all your negative thoughts, right? Given a chance, you always want to assume negative things. Because why? As I said, you never heard no. Probably first time you are hearing no, right? That's why you made to think all negatively. Nothing. The company doesn't care about your password. You keep it as simple as that. Go and prove yourself. Go and prove your skills. They will give you a job. Okay. What should be the resume for best shortlisting? Ashutosh, hang on, Ashutosh. Anyways, today onwards we are starting the session. We'll be, running through the Disha workshops also, how to write a resume, how to face interviews, right? We'll definitely getting into that, right? Okay. For working professional, how will be a separate window or criteria? Please brief for this, right? Chiranjeevi, there's no separate window as such. You can apply in the regular window itself, whatever is coming up, right? But as I said, for working professionals also, if you have more projects, that gives me enough power. Meaning it gives Emertxe more power to route your case as a lateral profile. Give us that opportunity, right? If your resume when you joined the Emertxe course and now, if it remains the same, then we cannot help. Okay. Say, for example, if I come and tell, hey, I'm a senior to you today, right? It will not help me. But is my resume 6 months back and now it looks different? Then I will be able to help you. And say, I don't say me personally, our team will be able to help you, right? Okay. So at the time of introduction of a new company, please also tell the number of vacancies the company want to recruit. Shubham, again, this is unwanted R&D. Let me counter every question, right? How many openings you need? You need one opening, no? Okay, you need one opening, Shubham. Suppose you are applying. Suppose a company has got one opening. Definitely they have one opening. That's why you're coming here. Why that one cannot be you? Right? Whether they have 50, suppose they have 500 openings, let us say, but you're not qualified. They will not select you. But you have only one. Okay. Let me share my experience, right? 2001, when I started my career, it's a peak of recession. We are all, people don't know, I think, just a brief about myself, right? I graduated from NIT Warangal. It was a top-notch college, most of you know, right? In the third year, we all had campus jobs. Okay? And campus jobs came, they gave an offer letter, but by the time we passed out 2001, right? It was 9/11 attack, dot-com bubble burst, right? And then the telecom bubble burst, all possible recession. That's the moment we passed it, we heard the word called recession. So that time I got an opportunity. I had a campus job. Please note that. Okay. But when I applied to off campus, one company called me for an interview. Okay. How many openings they had? 2. That I came to know later after I joined, right? how many people they basically appeared, how many people they screened? Because the registration, there's many people will be there, right? There are roughly around 500 people appeared for the 2 jobs. Okay. When I went, right, it was like a stampede only. So many people were standing in the queue, right? What did I tell to myself then? Oh my God, 500 people are there. I say, so be it, right? I am confident on my skill. If I can prove to the company, at least there are one opening. That's why they called me, right? So my request is how you look at it. If you are confident on your skills, you will not bother about everything else. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm telling, right? If you're confident, you will ask me right questions. You're not confident. That's why you're asking all wrong questions. That umpire is wearing a right color, instead of white, he's wearing a brown color cap today. Okay. That particular, a stand, right? Instead of a yellow color, right, they put a green color light today. How does it matter? Right? My request is, even if companies do share sometimes, but even if how does it matter? Whether 2 people or 20 people, and I'm telling you, based on my experience recently, whatever the number of opening, whether it's a 2 or 20, the reality is this, Shubham. They're not able to fill that. Let me repeat. Whether a company having a 2 opening, whether the company having 20 opening, the 2 or 20, it is not getting filled with Emertxe students. Right? Why? When our students come appearing for the test, they need to qualify, they need to evaluate, right? They're not meeting the performance criteria. That's why we beat up our head, we beat our mentors beat us, we go to student success, every week we break our heads, right? Harry is becoming less and less for me and my team, right? This is a fact. Okay. At least the same thing you can tell to yourself, what I told you 24 years back, right? At least one opening is there. By the way, I got selected in my company. That's my first job. Okay. So the campus jobs were there. Okay. I started as a kind of off-campus joining. So what? Right? End of the day, you put your skill, put your hard work, you'll get it in. Right? Okay. Most companies, MNC, mid-sized company require EC triple department. What about other department students? Saravana Kumar, again, you're asking me, if you give me specifics, then I'll be able to check. You asked me already about some mechanical company, right? Please email to support@emertxe.com. Whatever the questions are there, right? Please write us. We'll take a look into it, right? Don't say most of them, right? Again, last week also, we can share you month-on-month data because I'm sitting on the data. Right? Which month it has happened, right? Which department you belong to, how many you applied, how many you got shortlisted, how many projects you have in your resume, what are your C programming scores. If you give me the data, definitely we'll check and revert back. Okay? No issues. Okay. Amit Kumar, same thing. I'm a 2020 pass out student, but very few companies are coming. No, that's not correct. Please look into that. Okay. In C++, they didn't have any projects. That's fine, Navya, because C++ we mainly kept as to teach you guys the, mainly the object-oriented concepts, right? Okay. The idea is to give you that conceptual idea. But what I suggest is, whatever your C programming projects are there, you can redo it in C++ itself. For example, image steganography is there, right? Or lexical analysis is there. Whatever is there, instead of coding in C, you code in C++. What is wrong in that? Right? Yeah. Eventually, mindset is changing, sir. Yes, Tarun, that's my job. I don't know, right? I put my every monthly meeting, right? Every session, right? What is my job, right? To break that negative mindset. But believe me, if you're getting some small ray of, the information going in, if you start thinking what I'm forcing you to think, right? It looks very different. You'll start thinking everything differently in a positive manner. Okay. Okay. Aditya Sellings, I missed the deadline for project submission. I'm working on it. Will it be able to consider for submission? Okay. Talk to the mentors, right? Because sometimes mentors also need to move on. So they give a deadline because they have next module waiting, next batch waiting. Again, if you don't do that, right, they'll say, okay, you're delaying the module. Again, we take the blame, right? But I suggest if you're doing the project, meet the mentor. They may not be able to grade you, but at least you show the output. I worked on the project. Can you please output? Show me the, evaluate my output. That you can do, I guess. Right? Okay. Sir, small doubt like emails, Insta post. I think I think I already clarified. Okay. Komal is telling, what's the role of mock interview for interviews? Are they mandatory to us understand the level of question that we'll get in? That's right. You need to get we made it mandatory some time back, but later what we found out was the number of mock interviews, our mentors are not able to do it because mentor slots are not available. And there also last week I received one more feedback from my mentor saying that, sir, when we schedule the mock interviews, students are not ready to attend. I said, mentor is calling. Our team has already spoke, schedule the mock interview. The mentor is calling, hey, you had a mock interview at 5 o'clock. What happened, right? I'm outside, ma'am. I'll talk to you later, right? So they're taking very lightly. The idea is to give you a practice, right? And also, what is the difference between a regular interview and also, about the mock interview is that in a regular interview, you may not get the feedback. They may say, get back, and you never know what has happened, where you've done well, where you've not done well. But in the mock interview, you get the feedback. So you know what you've done well, you continue. Somewhere you've not done well, improve and go. So you're improving the probability of selecting. It's done with your best intent only. Okay. So for past few days, not giving the companies to apply. Why? So I don't know, Monica, which you are talking about. You please check. Every other day we are floating companies, right? Okay. Mock is for interview experience are compulsory to apply. So as I said, we made it compulsory, not able to make it, but it's good to have. No? Why are you cursing the mock interview? Again, the methodology here is Praveen and even Komal. Okay. If you see that, right? Here also I'm thinking the thought process. What is the thought process, right? The thought process is something like this. How minimally I can prepare, how maximum I can achieve. Because that's what you've been taught in the college, right? Suppose you have 10 chapters in a book. Don't study all the time. Last year, these questions came. This year, it won't come. Ignore. This chapter, professor not taught is ignore. Right? In this 2 chapters, this is the most important question you study. Go and attend. You get 70 marks. Right? Kindly note that will not work in an interview. Right? So that's the reason we give mock interviews to ensure it's not a mandatory, not mandatory. The more you do, the better it is. Right? To give you practice. So that when you go to the company, you cannot tell, no, it was out of syllabus. In fact, recently we had one more funny question, one more input I got from my team. What we do is like in the past interview, whenever our students attend the interview, right? Please note what our mentors do, right? Whenever a student is attending the interviews, okay, I'm telling you this, in fact, it happens in front of my eyes, right? Especially when they're doing an online interview, a mentor is sitting next to the student. Okay. Whenever there's in an online interview, right? Whenever the questions are, the mentor is noting down. And then they go and prepare question bank, right? Or if there is a student and the mentor cannot be present, right? If there's an awful interview happening, we'll call the student, tell me which other questions asked, right? We prepare a bank, okay? And then share with the students when they go for the next time, right? Okay, these are all the most likely they may ask because they asked in the last interview. You know what answer we get? Can you guess? Let me come down and then check, right? When we do this, right? When we do this effort, what is the answer our students are? You guys are telling us back. Can anybody guess? We put so much of effort, right, to collect the questions and prepare a bank, right? Can you tell me what students are asking us back? Anybody? Any guesses? I know a lot of questions I skipped, but it's not. I want a real answer. I want to see if somebody can guess, right? Not forgot, Gopikrishna. I'll be happy if the forgot answer comes. Anybody who want to attempt? Money. I think Srikanth is giving me the right answer, right? They're not asked from the question bank. Okay. And one student is telling, you gave me questions. From that question, nothing came. I said, what? Which world you are living in, right? That's what I'm telling you. Between the college to the corporate, the mindset switch has not happened. I'm applying the same formula, whatever I applied in the college, but I want a different result. Tell me, guys, how feasible it is, right? So that's what students are asking me, right? Okay. So, okay. Important questions. Is there questions enough are getting placed, right? Okay. So, they ask different questions rather than, yes, that's what I'm saying, right? Based on our experience, we are trying to help you. But it's not necessary that they know. Then what I'll do, like in the college, mate, question bank, I can come and say, yeah, anyway, they'll ask within this only. It's not working. If companies won't work like that, right? The panels may change, the questions may change, right? So that's what I'm saying. My request to all of you, right? Majority of the questions today, if you ask, okay, it's all leading to the same thought process which I'm telling, right? How minimally I prepare, how I get maximum. Okay, that's the approach you take in the college, right? But my request is that will not work. And then when that doesn't happen, you blame, or you get angry, you get upset, right? What do you call it? Toxic. This Gen Z is a toxic workplace, right? Or there's a toxic corporate environment, right? Okay, so please don't get into that. We need to earn by our merit only. Okay. So that's what it is. I think there are a lot of questions that, okay, coming there. Maybe I think it's taking more time, but it's okay. It's worth it. We'll spend some time in this, right? Maybe even if it is today only Q&A, we'll do that. We'll keep continuing. Anyways, we have 4 days of time, right? Okay. Let me ask where did it leave. Yeah. Second, I'm just thinking which question I left it. Yeah. Mock interview discussed. Mock interview. BNA Flexiness system selected me for a second round for a mechanical design round. Sarada Kumar, just write it. Lokesh, can you also note down Jyoti, Sarada Kumar's query? BNA Flexiness, can you please reach out to him? Jyoti, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'll note down it.
Yeah, note down Sarada Kumar. Sarada Kumar, you can also give us your roll number. Let me also note down. Our team will check this and revert. All right. Okay. So 6 months told for this course now, 6 months got over, till now 4 modules are not complete. I think this is also a typical question, right? From day one, there is a saying that, in Emertxe, they delay the course and things like that. It's also clarified multiple times in every monthly meeting. Let me clarify to you guys also. Sticking to the deadline of the course, we can very well do it. But every module has got a set of schedule. We can strictly do it. But kindly note, that is what followed in your college, right? But did we get the result that we wanted? No. So what we do in Emertxe, we don't just like that for the schedule running sake, we'll do that. We'll wait and see whether the students have understood or not. In case they have not understood, we spend more time in making you understand. My request is, it's been 12th year in Emertxe. This is what I'm hearing from 12 years. That's all we do to make you help only. So if you're spending, 1 or 2 months more, kindly note that is an investment you're putting for yourself. And kindly mentors are also there. Placement team is also there with you. So take it as an opportunity to learn. Okay? If you want to stick it on same thing, for example, C programming, which we teach you 50 days. When you go to corporate, we teach in 4 days. And we finish in C programming 4 days, no problem. Right? Entire course can be completed in 2 months. We can do that. Why 2 months? We'll do it in 1 month only. What is there, right? So my request is, that is not the game we are playing. And if you know that, if you do that, we don't get results, right? So we need to see, guys. Let me put it across this way, right? We do all the things that are good for you. Be it giving a giving an evaluation test or giving a mock interview, right? Spending more time in terms of teaching you the course and things like that, right? Unfortunately, what is the challenge I'm facing is, nowadays, if you look at the questions, is that the mindset is of the same how you're in college. Nothing has changed, right? Same college mindset, but you want a different results. My humble request to all of you in today's call is to come out of that. Because if you have that mindset, you'll not get it. Because if you have that mindset, 8 semesters you are in the same mindset. Now also I'm speaking, right? One professor is messaging me, saying that please do something for my students, sir, right? Okay. So many big professors, such a big infrastructure, 4 years you spent, right? They're not able to do what we are doing. And I'm really proud of what we are doing, by the way, right? My request is just cooperate by changing your mindset. Just follow what we are saying. That is enough. Okay. Okay. So, Sai Silpa, another question. Look at this, right? When you applied for any company, after that, Emertxe is creating WhatsApp group immediately. That is okay. After that, we didn't get any response from Emertxe and client. It is taking too much of time days to respond. Yes, that is also fact. Okay. In a way, the number of applications that are getting floated, the number of companies that are conducting the drives, if you see, right, there'll be difference. And that is also not today. It's been there for 20 years. Because when we forward, why did we float? We say, okay, companies having some openings, right? Okay, we forward the list to the company. That's the reason where, by the time they come back, right, we want to prep you. That is why that particular group is created, right? Okay, there is a chance that the company won't come back. Why they don't come back? Reasons can be many. Okay, I'll tell you one scenario you'll be able to understand, Sai Silpa, right? There was a scenario where on a Friday evening, one HR sent me a mail, because earlier I used to directly handle students and placements and clients. Now we have a team which is handling, right? They sent me 2 student names and said, these students are selected. Okay, please block the students. I'm sending this email to my US headquarters. Monday morning, they'll approve. I'll release the offer letter, because they cannot just like that do it, right? So Friday night, the mail came. That was a Friday morning in the US. Right? They sent an email. Friday morning, there is an email coming in the company saying that there is a hiring freeze. Right? And I also communicated to the student, forget about you getting shortlisted. I told the student you are selected. Right? Things do happen. By the time, they're getting for example, you cannot mandate, I cannot go. Okay. For example, LG asks for 25 people, we give a 25 people list, right? You cannot go on, hey, LG, you asked 25 people, I given the list. You're not giving me interview for my students. Okay. If at all you don't want me giving interviews, why are you asking the list from my students? Because in that group, there are 50 students who are waiting. What answer? Can you threaten the LG like this? Sai Silpa? Or anybody for that matter? If at all I threaten, forget about the threaten. If you slightly increase my tone, next time they won't come. Because they also work with so many dynamics. And it is not that they wanted to keep a list and then they wanted to, just for time pass they're doing. They have their own dynamics. My request is, if the drive has not come through, you applied, group got created. Do we follow up in the back end? Yes, we do follow up. Rather, my team also asked, so should I send a message to the group saying that, hey guys, this drive is being postponed or this drive is cancelled? Can we send a message like that? I said, don't do. That's anyways negative. Just leave the group as it is. Right? If you're not heard, means not heard. The company has not come back. Move on. Right? That's what I'm telling you. So far, the challenge is you never heard the way no. Now you're hearing no first time in your life, most of you. Right? Do you agree with me? This statement, let me just come back down and then go up, right? You're hearing a rejection, or you're hearing the thing for the first time, you're somebody saying no. Do you agree with me? Yes, no? Come on, I need some answers here. Okay, somebody says no. Okay, yes, sir. I'm seeing some yeses, some, no's here. Okay, so that's the idea, right? So what do? We move on, Silpa. Okay. If it is not the, kindly note, we are not doing any conspiracy here. Just to chumma, we create a group. Just to chumma, add some people. Right? Chumma, the company also. Things change. Okay. My thing is, it has not come through. Not come through. Move on. No. Agla company or this company may come back another 2 weeks down the line schedule. Okay. Let me just see. Okay. A lot of questions are there. Yeah. Silpa is here. So Amarjit asking, sir, sometimes it feels like frustrating. Yes, I understand completely. Do you think I'm not frustrated? Tell me. When such things happen, do you think I'm not frustrated? Do you think our team is not frustrated? Right? Sometimes we do everything to make the company satisfied. And they also, it's not that they also said, sir, what to do? There's somebody sitting a decision maker, they're doing like this. They said, okay, chodo na. Leave it. No, that's not the end of the world, right? Move on. There's always a next company is coming, right? We are working hard, right? Market is, wherever opening, we're pushing, applying. Is software jobs offer more opportunities for growth compared to mechanical job? Handling electronics. Vipin, I think you're totally confused, first of all. Okay. Mechanical job, you're telling electronics and software job, right? I tell you very simple, right? All the jobs that we are targeting, it is actually a software job. Eventually, you're controlling something which is a non-software. It could be a watch, it could be a water bottle, it could be AC, or it could be a table. So using software, you're controlling something. That is what embedded jobs. Hope it is different. Hope you are understanding, right? This is different from a typical IT job, which is nothing but your web or mobile application, right? Okay, that's a difference. But if you look at the IT job, generally the number of jobs are more. But here the number of jobs are relatively less. But this domain is giving a very good promising future as we move forward, because the more world is moving towards automation, right? Semiconductor is coming to India. Those factors are there. So my request is not to get confused. I think that more or less this domain offers you a very good opportunity. I put like this. Right? Okay. Jayveer is asking, so good evening, sir. I completed the placement eligibility test and the MC module, but mock interview is not attended. Can I apply to companies, but only after attending mock interview? JV, right? I already told, right? So you can apply, but my recommendation to all of you is that attend the mock interview. Right? Yes, you cleared the eligibility test. That's a mandatory part which you're allowing to apply. But if you do the mock interview, it's going to benefit you only, because otherwise you will come in the other side and say, sir, I applied, I attended the interview also, nobody selected me. Right? Don't be in the situation. So what is the worst case problem statement here, right? Okay, the worst case problem statement is you are in a problem, but you know the reason behind the problem. Right? You know the problem, but you know the reason behind the problem. You're not got selected, it's a problem. But you don't know what is the reason behind the problem. Whether it is, is my technical capability, where am I lacking, is my communication skills. So what happens? We blame all around the world. That's why I'm telling you, take the mock interview. Mentors will give the feedback. Hey, Jayveer, I asked you 10 questions. In 7 answered you well, right? 2 you did not answer well. 1 you answered totally not correctly. So correct. So when you go there, it's going to help you. Okay. Chiranjeevi is telling, please a brief placement process for working professionals. The same process, Chiranjeevi, there's no separate process, right? The same process, you can apply with the same, whatever the application that is coming along, right? My request is, right, if you are a working professional, if you have some experience and you've done well in their course, companies will automatically recognize. I was telling a recent example of, Qualcomm itself. There are 2 people got selected, right? One guy don't have any experience, another guy has experience. The guy with an experience got a naturally higher salary. Okay? But provided you perform well in the interview, you cannot go and tell, I have past experience, give me more. That's not the way to claim, right? You do well. That's why my question is, work on more projects. Then you go and claim, then it will help you. There's no different process here. Okay? No, sir, for info, sir, because from 1 week I didn't get any email, sir. I saw in Insta there were drives going on. Then you contact our team, Ramesh. Right? Maybe there's some issue with your Google group settings. Right? Get in touch with the team, we'll sort it out. Okay. Sometimes this Google group also might have some issues. We'll sort it out for you. Okay. Online students, same. Online, offline, working professional, same process, Chiranjeevi. Okay. Process wise. Okay. Again, so Sonanjali, so we joined some WhatsApp group related to the company, but there is no update. What we can do, right? I think I already answered. I completed engineering in 2019 and worked for different domain. Now I joined Emertxe for career switch. But company requirements looking for students pass out recently. What should I do? Bhupati, I think I clarified again. More than 60% of the companies are asking for any year of pass out. You have ample amount of opportunities. Please focus on your course. Like you, there have been a lot of people who come and achieve the career transition. If they can do it, you can also do it. Okay. Every week, placements are posted on Insta. Where are these placements are posted to apply? Chiranjeevi, I don't know which world you are in. Are you part of the Google group? You should be getting notifications in your inbox. If you're not getting, guys, I don't know. If you see, Google group earlier we were adding. Now it's not adding. Sorry, you need to approve. Now we are directly adding. In case if you're not getting placement emails, please approach our team. When you add, everybody together. Technically, there's a glitch. You are not getting an email, but you're seeing the same date some company has come. That means your Gmail inbox is having some problem, right? Or there's some settings issue. Talk to our team. We'll sort it out for you. Okay. Harshavardhan is asking, sir, I'm an online student. Can I come to Bangalore after course for offline placements? Yes, you can come. No problem. Okay. In fact, if you're an online student, but you're based out of Bangalore, can you attend offline drive? No problem. In fact, neither us nor the companies are bothered about mode of learning. They really care whether you can answer the questions or not. Okay, no issues with us. Sir, how much score does companies prefer? Kavya, again, that depends on them. Yeah. Okay, somebody may put at 7 out of 10, somebody may put at 6. It is their choice. Again, sometimes they tell us, many times they don't tell us. And we cannot go and ask, what are the cutoff you applied for our students, right? They may not tell. In fact, when you do too much, right? Imagine, right? You are a HR. Okay. We wanted to keep a relationship warm with them. We ask as less questions as possible. If you are nagging them, we are asking so many questions, right? How many you applied cutoff, right? I sent 20 students, only 5 you called for interview, right? In 5 also you didn't select anybody. What do we do? Then why are you coming in? If you talk in this tone, no, imagine. I just changed my voice, right? If you change in that tone, they don't like it. They think that we are unprofessional to them and we are trying to intrude into their process, right? So we don't do that. Whatever companies say, we say fine. If we need any help, we'll do that. Tejas is asking, can you conduct some more classes for building a resume, making proper format of the resume? Yes, we are going to do that. In fact, today is a starting day. Tomorrow, day after, we'll get into that sequences topic. I'll tell you, I have a template with you. I'll share it with you guys. You can start preparing them. Okay. So Google Group means emails that we are receiving. Yes, you'll find it. ECEP placements apply now. That means you're part of the Google Group. Okay. So what is the need? Work need to be done because online people placing rate is less. Like what and all we need to be improved. Ramesh, right? See again, neither companies nor Emertxe has got any issue. Right? With respect to whatever I told for the offline students, the same rule holds to the online students also. Work on more projects, work on the mock interviews, clear the PET, take help from mentors. The same formula applies for online also. Okay. Muhammad is asking, sir, do you speak about device driver earlier? Will you teach us device driver or will you provide it online module? See, Muhammad, we had a device driver module as a part of our course sometime back. I'm talking about 5-6 years back. We removed it because many of the students could not be able to grasp it. And but if you want, some companies specifically asking for the device drivers, our mentors do give some materials. Sometimes they conduct some small workshops also, the placement preparation workshops, so the students will prepare and go. Okay, but strictly speaking, it's not part of our curriculum. Okay, now Bharat is asking one nice question. So, is it possible to get a dream company job and how, sir? Bharat, thank you very much, dear, for asking these questions. This is the question I want, right? Okay, what does it take to crack an interview, right? Very simple. I already explained multiple times, right? Show me 10 projects in your resume. Done deal. Okay. Does company shortlist resume on ATS score? Not necessarily, Akash, because we are not sending in a bulk mode, So whenever you're uploading in a Naukri or something, right, there are the ATS and then see whether those keywords are there and things like that, right? Since we are going through institution, they know our curriculum, they know our system, right? They open and look into every, resume and then look. That's what I'm saying. Just because you send doesn't mean you get shortlisted. The more projects you do, then it will be easy for them to shortlist you. Okay. Ramesh is asking, sir, like for online class people, since we are using simulation tools, not real time, how to tackle interviews? I don't think you need to be bothered about this at all, Ramesh, because whatever you are learning in the, basically the hardware simulation tool or whatever you're learning in the real hardware, you are learning wise, there's no compromise. Whatever your assignments and projects you are doing, explain the same in the same way. Even if you tell the interviewer that I'm learning through the simulator, there won't be any problem. Because we already vetted and validated. The learning in simulator doesn't mean that you are learning anything less. Online students, right? Okay. In fact, we have only received appreciation from the company saying that, oh my God, this is the way you teach simulators and then teach your students, right? You get appreciation from companies. Okay. So my request is not to take it as a negative things, right? Whatever you do the assignments, do it well. Explain that you've done in simulator. I don't think that will have any impact on your selection. If you explain well, they will take you. Vamsi is asking, sir, we are low score or not satisfied with the score in the module test. Can we go for re-attempts? Will new score be considered for placement and overall score, right? Yes, there is an opportunity to re-attempt, especially your module test, right? You can request your mentor and get it rescheduled once. You can do that. Sandeep is asking, right now I'm working as a hardware engineer role in embedded, have an experience of 1.6 years. I want to switch to software role. So will there be any problem in the placement? See, if I already clarified, our role is to prepare you for the embedded software roles only. If you do our curriculum, you can make a switch. And in the past, similar to you, a lot of people from the hardware design side made a switch to the software side. Okay. Mahesh is asking, sir, career gap is 3 to 4 years. Example, interview is asking, what about past 4 years, sir? What we need to answer, sir? Okay, nice question, Mahesh, right? If somebody has a career gap, I tell two things. One is, I've been telling from the beginning, right? Work on n number of projects. Ensure that there are 10 resumes in your project, 10 projects in your resume. Point number one, right? Point number two, when this question will come, I have a career gap, 3-year, 4-year gap, 5-year gap, right? It will not come in the initial technical round, right? It will come in the later, in a HR interview or a management interview, right? During that time, my formula is very simple. Tell the truth, right? Don't need to cook any stories and all. Whatever may be the reason, your personal reason, professional reason, health reason, right? Whatever may be the reason. Suppose I say I prepared for UPSC for 4 years. I did not clear. Tell it. It's okay. And I tell the students every time, right? what is the best part of telling the truth? The best part of telling the truth is you don't need to remember. Anytime somebody wakes you, even at night 2 o'clock, you tell the thing. But kindly note, Mahesh, and all the students in people with a year gap, just because you have an year gap, companies are not going to judge you based on that. I think that's the big, elephant sitting in your head. Oh my God, year gap, right? And you're not focusing on your studies. Okay, year gap has come. Just because can I give a medicine, year gap will go away. Can I wipe it from your resume? No. Whatever it is. The only way you can overcome the year gap is to show the skills. Your gap is here. Your skill is here. Your projects are showcase this. Then they'll ask why the year gap. In the later point in time, explain the truth. Story over. I think we placed some students with maybe 12 years of year gap. I'm not sure my placement team will have data. A girl with 12 years of year gap we could place. Don't bother about 3-4 years and all. Right? Okay. How to prepare the interview? I'll come to that, Shonali. We're going to talk in the subsequent sessions. Please attend all the sessions, right? Bond, Raghavendra, I'll come to that. We're going to cover in detail in the subsequent sessions, right? Okay. Gaurav is asking, sir, can we apply in companies while the hiring of another company is going on? If yes, what happens if both companies publish result at the same time? So it depends on us which company we want to go, or Emertxe will decide. See, our formula is very simple, Gaurav, right? Suppose 2 interviews are attending. Okay. Whichever offer comes first, we will ask you to go with that company. And we tell the second company saying that Gaurav is not available. So that is a scenario, right? But in extreme situations, I think 1 or 2 cases in my past 12 years of experience in Emertxe, where today evening one company has released the offer, tomorrow morning another company release an offer. In such cases, we ask the students to choose. But as I said, that's like 0.001% of the cases, right? Okay. Whatever the first offer comes, go with that. That's our policy also. Okay. Device driver, I think I answered. Okay. Simulation, I answered. What and all rounds we need to undergo after shortlisting? Typically, technical interview, HR interview, management interview. So, right? Okay. Sridhar is asking, so if you perform good in Emertxe mock, then the shortlisted chances got high. Sridhar is telling, you see, I'm not telling only in the shortlisting of Emertxe, right? In general, wherever there's a performance, whether it's in the written test or in the PET or in terms of if you carry a merit, there is a probability of you getting selected is high. Whether that is in the mock, whether it's the number of projects, whether it's in the number of, the placement eligibility test or C module scores, whatever we talk about. Right? That applies to the mock interview also. If you perform well in the mock interview, what happens? That means you're already good. Right? When you go to the interview, you'll get selected much more easily. That's all. Okay, I think simulation I answered. What is good PET score for people going to attend PET for getting placed for premium packages? See, there is no number as such. You need to clear the cutoff, right, to make it eligible, right? And after that, as I said, the more it is, the better. And again, Vamsi, it depends, right? In which batch you are, how much you are scoring, how much your friends are scoring, it all depends on that, right? So the more you are, the better it is. I would put like that. I am interested to do more projects. Where can I get other project recorded? We can share you. I think there's already an LMS provision created, Sarana Kumar. In fact, one second. You can reach out to us. There is I don't know whether in LMS how it is structured. Our team will be able to clarify better whether you have the access or where it is kept. I don't maintain LMS. Our team maintains it, where all the project explanations are kept. You can very well use it and work on more projects. See, now I'm happy. Now Sarana Kumar is asking me right set of questions, right? Okay, I'm happy to see this. Take those videos, work on more projects, right? Success will come to you, Sarana Kumar. So Gokul is telling, sorry, sir, for asking that question. Being 30 plus, I'm under a lot of pressure, which is why I asked. I'm focusing on completing more projects and staying dedicated to my course. Thank you for clearing my queries and doubts. Right? See, Gokul, okay. See, different people have got different demons in their head. Okay. Let me put it across. I don't want to only point you that, right? Different people, different students in this forum has got different devils in their demons in their head. One demon comes in form of age, in your case, right? Another demon comes in form of I'm an MSc student. Another demon comes in form of I'm a mechanical engineering student. Another demon comes in form of I scored less in the PET test. Another demon comes in form of my communication skills is not good. Another demon comes in form of I failed in the interview first time when I went to Emertxe, right? If you ask me, if you just summarize, if you just take this text, whatever you've been answering, right, and feed into the tool, and can you tell me, can you categorize them into demons, right? Okay. Where are the demons existing, by the way? Okay. All the demons are existing in your mind. Honestly speaking, there is no demons. It is our assumption, right, which is becoming a demon. You're getting my point, right? No company is going to shortlist you, Gokul, since I'm talking about the age point of view, right? Oh my God, Gokul, you're 30-year-old, I'll reject you. I'm 100% sure no company is going to decide based on that. Similarly, some student is asking about 4 years of gap. Oh, 4 years gap you have, I'll reject you. Are they going to call like that? No. Then where is the demon sitting? It is in your head. I mean, it's in our heads, right? So my request, if you ask me from the last 1.5, in fact, I did not run slide only today. First 2-3 slides only I wrote, right? Today entire become a Q&A, that's fine, right? What am I trying to do in this session, right? I'm taking some gun, whatever I'm having, right? I'm trying to shoot all the demons in our unknown. In fact, there is no demon if you ask me. There is absolutely no demon. If at all, if you ask me one demon in front of her, the real demon is recession. It's a reality, right? I already told you. Why? Look at that. 100 companies used to come. Now it has become 50 and 60. That's a real demon. If not for that, instead of 100 companies, I'm fairly sure this 100 companies would have become 200 companies. Because every day our team tries to work and get more companies. Right? That's a real demon. But apart from that, 99% of the questions are all coming from that. Ye pura idhar hai. The demon is sitting here. Just shoot the demon, your mind will become clear. Because I'm not putting a demon inside. It's grown in your own mind, right? And then you form your own assumptions. Oh my God, this is how it is like this. Online is like that. Offline is like that. You know, older batches are like that. Newer batches are like that. Academic, it's all, who is manufacturing? Tell me. Am I telling? Did I make any statement anywhere? You can go, you know, I tell my students also in a very lighter note, right? Okay. You can go and refer all the past monthly, these videos, right? You can run a tool on top of it. And this is easy to search through the tools, right? Okay. Maybe you can find me using a different words. Last monthly, I would have explained like that. This monthly, I would explain like that, right? Words might be different because I'm a human being, no? But kindly note, meaning never change. Because 20 years we've been doing the same, no? In fact, after sometimes, student will get boring. It's the same thing question coming, sir. Oh, you are answering in the same enthusiasm. People, my team also tells, I'm sure after this message, 7 o'clock, they'll leave me messages. Sir, same question, how can you, deal with so much of patience, right? With the same energy, how you're answering. My answer is, that question is, old for us, but new for you, right? How can I discourage you? You know what, Gokul, don't ask me this question, right? If you punch, that's not correct, right? That's the reason I'm telling you, all the demons, friends, today, please take this message, right? All the demons are in your head. My request is, there is no demon, first of all. Break it, right? And kindly, my humble request to all of you, focus on skill building. Second thing, team Emertxe. Be it our mentors, student success team, placement teams, counselors, we are all here to support you. We're not villains. We're not villains. We're not going to stop you. Oh my God, Gokul, 30-year-old fellow, I'll stop you from placement. Did I get up in the morning and say, Gokul, I'll stop you? This student, no, I'll stop. Can we work like that? Come on, right? What is our thing, right? Day in and day out, we think that how quickly we can place maximum students. That's our only goal. In fact, we punch a lot internally. You guys don't know all these things. Okay. We punch our mentors, we punch our placement team, we punch our students and say, hey, why my students are not getting selected? We want more selections. That is our only goal. Okay. So just chill, Gokul. Okay. Relax yourself, first of all. Okay. Put our efforts. This is not only Gokul, right? He's been honest. I really appreciate, coming and typing in such a forum about our age and all, right? Just being so open. I really appreciate. All of you, demons are in your head, right? Okay. Device drivers, PET, I think clarified, online. Pooja Krishna is asking, sir, will the placement exam date be announced 1 week before the exam, or will it be sudden 1 day or 2 days before the exam only? How does it matter, Pooja? They'll give sufficient notice. Okay. They'll give sufficient notice, but they'll keep whenever it's available. Okay. 240 only online, but taking course in online mode is a big task. We need to be motivated. We need to keep interest by ourselves. Now, at end of course, we feel LA model difficult. Our team figured out, started team meets by grouping 6 to 7 students as a team to help us out, but it's not going to get concluded for 2 or 3 days for 3 batches. Please make some connections with us to keep our motivation, to keep ourselves to solve a problem, right? So, Ninduri, I don't know your name. Let me note down. Let me ask our team to reach out to you in this particular batch. What is this batch? 24010A. Means, see, I'm noting down. Ninduri, I think it's a surname. Ninduri, I don't know your full name. We'll reach out to you. Okay. Shanmukhi selling, I attended LG interview. I cleared 2 rounds and failed in the last round, where they asked some questions, creating some scenario. I think I failed it, sir. Maybe that may be the reason. Yes, that's okay. Okay. Virat Kohli also get bold. No, what is there? Important thing is, Shanmukh, analyze what you've done well. I told you, I don't know whether you got my statement or not, right? Majority of the problem because you don't know what is the problem. You assume. Don't assume. Go analyze. This scenario, what is this, right? Discuss with your friend, discuss with the mentor, right? Prepare. Next time you'll get successful. See, you clearing 2 rounds in the technical interview, it's a good sign. I'm seeing, you're there, but you're still not there, right? Just be there, it will come to you. But important thing is, next time you go, you analyze and go. Don't just like that go. That's a problem majority of them do, right? Online, okay, theory, improve it. I think I clarified that. Device driver, mock interview clarified. Mock interview clarified. Test practice I given, right? Like topic, device drivers, right? All right. Almost 7 o'clock, guys. That's why I'm trying to see whether did I miss anything drastically. Any questions that from today? Padmashri is selling, sir, is solving 5 questions per day sufficient to retain C programming and DS concept after completing his module? Or do more than 5 questions, right? The more you do, the better it is. Don't restrict yourself 5. Who is telling that 5? You are only telling, na? Okay. Why 5? Why not 10? Why not 15? The more you do, better it is. But again, don't apply college thinking there. Only 5 I solve, I'll clear the interview. No, they may put any questions. Imagine that the interviewer is going to ask you all sort of questions. Prepare and go. Then it will be easy, right? Okay. Device driver. I think Muhammad, I clarified. Muhammad has, why the cooling period for next mark is so long? Can you reduce it to less than 10 or exactly? So already we're trying that, okay, to make the market. But as I said, no, mentor slots are becoming very difficult. We're also coming up with some AI-enabled tools. We are experimenting that. We'll try to give some solution. Okay, the mock interviews time period, right? Okay, try to. Okay. I think mostly I clarified. Okay, I think mostly I clarified. Few are here. Okay. Muhammad only is flooding my question. Muhammad, Tafiq, Muhammad, Bhaiya, answer कर दिया. तुम्ही सब में डाल दिए question. Anything that I miss? Device driver. Appa, Muhammad ने thank you बोल दिया. Proving that thing. Okay. Okay. I think BT. Okay. I think. Good evening, sir. I have a question. If every student did 10 projects in the resume, then why some students got selected in mid-sized companies and why they are into MNCs? Are the student based on mid-size is because of less projects? See, Sirisha, I'm telling you a guideline. If you are doing 10 projects, it means you're having some skills. Nobody will select you. 10 projects MNC, 7 projects mid-size, 5 people startup. No, I'm not telling that. When you work on 10 projects in Emertxe, the capability that you build. Okay, I'm not telling all the MNC students did 10 projects, all the mid-size students. That again, that demon you are only putting. I'm not putting, right? Okay, there's no stereotyping here. I'm telling you, if you do 10, you will land in a very good job. That's my formula. Because you're asking me, sir, how do I get selected, right? I've given you formula. Just follow that, because when you say 10 projects, even if they like say 1,000 lines per project, right? You would have done 10,000 lines of code, and that will put you way ahead in the competition. Okay, there's no correlation between this and that, right? Okay. Okay, I think mostly I answered. Okay. What I'll do is we'll continue tomorrow. So please join at the same time. In fact, what I came with a different agenda, but since you guys pulled me into the question thing, I thought let me not. Anyways, I have FAQs. I think most of the FAQs you asked me today. It's 7 o'clock today. Okay. You'd like to pause it and check. How did you find the session today? Did it help you? Any comments, questions? I know I get in the punching mode, right? It happens all the time. I really enjoy. Thank you, sir. Says Sunali. Yeah, recording will send, Sharla. It's getting recorded. We'll share you. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up here. Oh, wow. So many thumbs ups. Thank you, guys. Anybody in the chat? Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Then great, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Now itself, I start working on 10 plus projects. Gokul, very good. Somebody putting fire and all. Thanks a lot. We got some new ideas. Thank you, says Mamidi. Nishant is telling Nishant. Motivational says Deep. Clarifying doubts. Tripti selling. Thank you. Thank you, Kavita. Clarified many things, says Komal. Thank you, sir, says Raju. Thank you, says Raj. Agenda 10. Yes. Agenda 10, right? Sandeep Kalakota, right? Go for 10. Okay. So helpful, clarify most of the doubts, says Pooja. Okay, thank you so much for clearing doubt, says Suraj. Fantastic, guys. Okay, okay. I think 7 बज गया. 7 o'clock classes will start. Then mentors will scold me. I'm holding you guys here, bolgi. So tomorrow 5 o'clock will come. We'll resume. It's as I said, I have 4 days. Even it takes one more day, I can accommodate. No worries. We'll spend ample amount of time in resume writing, interview facing, right? And whatever comes in your mind, throw it. It's okay. I don't mind. Okay. Maybe I'll punch back aggressively because that's not correct. But I don't disappoint you. I will not intimidate you. Don't worry. You have all the rights to ask me all the questions. Don't worry about it. Right? Okay. So thank you very much, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.